landing just about anything he wants to land.
And keeping some nice balance. He's compact on the inside. He crouches, gets all of his power and his hips into his shots.
So round 5, another good one for Adrian Stone. James Hughes could be running out of time even at this early stage.
Of a Stone throw first coming at you. Throws a nice left hook high on the top of the head. Gets one. And then in return, nice right hand. That hurts even to watch.
And it has hurt James Hughes as he has taken many of those right hands. We head into round 6. James Hughes in the black defending his USBA welterweight title. Adrian Stone in the white going after it. Boy, is he ever going after it. James Hughes told us he wanted to use the jab and make it effective in this bout. He has not been able to do that.
And Adrian Stone has won the battle of jabs up to this point, signifying why he's on top of this bout. And he's had the shorter, compact punches on the inside, and it's quite a nice gift for a fighter if he can do that. And Stone with a whirlwind that you could not have anticipated quite that level coming in here. 100 punches practically better than Hughes.
Landing at 50%, which is excellent. James Hughes lunging a lot now, and Stone doing a very nice defensive job. The combination.
Making him pay anytime Hughes is close. We've got blood now in the nose of Hughes. He's a gallant warrior here. He's rugged, but Adrian Stone able to pick him apart.
Also some swelling around the right eye of James Hughes underneath it. And that one sent our cameraman sprawling, but hey, he's hanging in there. That was Doug Rose, who proved that he could take a good shot.
He's got a good chin, and he was up at 2.
Doug, we're not even going to give you the mandatory 8 count.
He'll say it was a slip.
Don't say all. Just a little over a minute left to go in round
6. Stone continuing to pressure here against Hughes and really taking away the street fighting aspect away from Hughes, which is Hughes' strength. Stone coming inside now more and getting more gutsy over the last 2 rounds, coming after Hughes.
And even when they do brawl, it is Stone who is getting the better of him. Thus putting James Hughes between Stone and a hard place.
Ooh.
I didn't pretend I didn't say that. Let's just all collectively pretend I didn't say that. Seemed like a good idea
at the time. And Stone goes to the body there. Again, continuing to attack. When do we see Hughes in the corner this much in the fight? It's very hard. And for him going corner to corner, it doesn't happen often.
He doesn't get backed up too much in fights, and Stone has been able to do it. This 23-year-old from Bristol, England, now a Paterson, New Jersey native, has made his mark so far in this bout. We're at the halfway point. So far, James Hughes' title looks shaky. We'll be back.
Well, if we've said it once, we've said it 100 times to Doug Rose. Jab your way in. When you don't, you get hit there. Doug Rose, our cameraman, getting his combat pay there, and he gets right up.
Doug, you're beautiful, and I mean that. We head into round 7. Adrian Stone is in the white trunks, James Hughes in the black, and it has been quite a show. Almost a coming out party for Adrian Stone, the 23-year-old who has stepped up, many people believed, in competition against Hughes, but so far, Stone has had no problem.
Hughes has been frustrated. He just threw Adrian Stone and was reprimanded for doing so. Hughes hasn't figured out the right style here. He misses with the right hand. He wants to outmuscle Adrian Stone inside, but Stone has been, to his finding, surprisingly strong in there and continues to pile up the numbers.
Stone getting the jab in. He's done that well during the fight. Now there's a right hand that Hughes put the more on than he has in any other right hand. And for a moment, I thought it might have stunned Stone.
He landed one earlier in the round. Then he landed it there, followed it with a left hook. Hughes, in terms of power, has found something here in round 7, and he certainly will need it based on those numbers.
Now, as you look at the scorecard, let's remind you again of something Davey told you earlier in the fight. Adrian Stone has never, ever, ever been past 8 rounds. Hughes has been 12 before.
Hughes has traditionally been a strong finisher. He will need all of it here. That right hand brought him to life in the beginning of this round.
And And let us not forget only a week ago when Kevin Kelly looked hopelessly out of his fight against Ricardo Rivera and still came back.
You know, for the good start that Hughes had, it looks like he's run out of some steam here in round 7.
True.
As Stone got to him, he's doubled over here, and the pace of this fight really showing. The body shots downstairs by Stone look like they're taking an effect here.
And the other part of that equation I mentioned, though, is that, as you said, Hughes has taken more punches in this fight, so can they fatigue him as well.
And it's also easier to finish strong for a fighter when he doesn't have such a big lead to overcome. The pressure isn't there as much. Hughes would have to win every round here to get a draw to keep his title if the scoring is on the mark. And he doesn't seem capable of getting 6 in a row. He'd need a knockout.
And all of a sudden, James Hughes looks very, very tired. And boy, is Stone working the body. A very smart move by this young man. He is just going downstairs almost exclusively now.
Now, you can practically win a fight with one hand if it's done right. Stone has done that with the left hand in this fight.
James Hughes with a nice combination, but back comes Stone. Round 8 awaits us. A very special show on April 13th at 8 p.m., which will be called Top Rank Boxing ESPN, a winning combination. And it's going to be a look back, an hour-long look back at some of the great moments we've had here in the 15 years on this series.
It's hard to believe that 5 years has gone by since 10 and counting.
That's right.
Where did those years go?
I don't know, David. My hair has gotten a little grayer, I'll tell you that right now. We head into the latter stages of this bout, and as we do, we mentioned that we wonder about Stone's ability to go 12, but with the amount of punishment that James Hughes has taken, you have to wonder how fresh he will be too as we head in here to round 8.
And Stone continues to rough him up with literally double the number of punches landed and over 500 punches thrown through 7. And Stone trying to put an exclamation point on his effort here.
Nice right hand by Adrian Stone. He always fights within himself, doesn't he?
Yes,
Never
he does.
gets wild.
The left hand, if you stay schooled, stay with what brought you there, a fighter can win 70 to 80% of his rounds and win almost all of his fights. And Adrian Stone hasn't lost, and he's showing some excellent examples tonight why.
You know, Adrian Stone has 8 knockouts in 13 fights, but as you look at him and think of him against better competition, and in fact Hughes himself is better than some of the people he's fought, don't you see Adrian Stone as the kind of guy that will carve out a lot of 10 and 12 round decision wins, but look impressive doing it?
Amongst some guys, and his knockouts, when he gets them, will come late in the fight.
Yeah, that's exactly the way I see it. More than halfway through round 8, it has been a wonderful round for Adrian Stone. And for James Hughes, it has been much like all the ones that have preceded it. Good right by Stone.
And look at him putting the punches together, good hand speed, turning into a shot, fired an uppercut after going upstairs 3 times. He's thinking in terms of punch sequence at all times.
Well, the last real bad trip that Jesse James made north was when the real Jesse James went to Northfield, Minnesota. And this one's turning out almost as badly for Jesse James Hughes.
He really has been shot down to this point. Adrian Stone, practically a flawless effort for him through 8 rounds.
Well, Adrian Stone will have to go to a 9th round for the first time in his career, but I don't think he minds much because he is dominating the action. As we wind down here in round 8, Stone continues the assault, and Jesse James Hughes is wondering what happened.
Everything right. That nice short left hook on the inside after he takes a shot drives Hughes back.
We head into round 9. James Hughes in the black trunks, the USBA welterweight champ, and Adrian Stone, the challenger, in the white trunks. I thought the interesting thing about that replay, Dave, was that Hughes did land a pretty good right hand. It didn't even stop Stone for a moment.
He came firing in. And he has shown something tonight very few fighters do. He hasn't stopped jabbing in one round of this fight. Usually you'll see a fighter get away from his jab for a little bit when that's pretty much his reputation, but Stone has kept it going. He's kept his left hand active the entire fight, stayed with what brought him here. And he continues to pile up lopsided numbers. That's one of the most lopsided of the fight in terms of punches landed. He's been double on the night, and there he lands more than 4 times as much. Hughes very tired.
And landing at 70% lets you know your opponent is tired. Dick Flaherty has had a relatively easy time in this bout. It's been a very clean fight. And as opposed to the last fight, Adrian Stone was in when Ross Thompson was disqualified. Your scorecard.
A whitewash for Stone, practically engaging in the perfect fight here thus far.
A shutout for Adrian Stone, something we may see more of as the baseball prince finally get back to playing baseball.